A Pirate's Life for Sam. Moodboard for a pirate concept party. Pirates have long been a point of fascination. For centuries, they have been a recurring theme of popular culture. From Treasure Island to Pirates of the Caribbean, pirates have been romanticized throughout the ages as heroes living outside of the law. Centuries of kids and adults alike have been captivated by pirates in their internal fantasy realms, resulting outwardly in an abundance of classic literature, theme park rides, elaborate performances, and Hollywood blockbusters based on pirates. To dig deeper into this continual fascination with the life of a pirate is also an analysis into the modern psyche, a tracing of history and a people's relationship to the rise of the modern bureaucratic system. To understand why pirates, we must first ask, who are pirates? According to Wikipedia, piracy is an act of robbery or criminal violence by ship or boat-borne attackers upon another ship or coastal area, typically with the goal of stealing cargo and other valuable items or properties. Those who engage in acts of piracy are called pirates. Pirates were documented as far back as 14th century BC as seas people, represented famously by the Vikings in medieval Europe, but it is the pirates of the Golden Age of piracy to which we refer to most frequently. The Golden Age, from the 1600s to 1700s, was the classic era of piracy in the Caribbean. By 1650, France, England, and the United Provinces began to develop their colonial empires. This involved considerable seaborne trade and a general economic improvement. There was money to be made, or stolen, and much of it traveled by ship. During this time, pirates were typically dismissed as lawless, thieving barbarians who set off in ships to steal and conquer. It's true, pirates mostly came from the lowest ranks of society, lured by the stories of life at sea to escape their sufferings on land. And their main objective indeed was to capture other ships and settlements, to steal and to live outside of the law. However, even as pirates ignored the law of the land, they were not humans without a, pardon the pun, compass or direction. It's important to note that the early days of the Golden Age coincided with the rise of capitalism, and choosing the life of a pirate was often a direct protest against capitalism as well. These pirates appeared just as illegal forms of modern nationhood and international trade agreements were developing, with increasing statutory, social, and moral restrictions on the expression of the self. And in their protest against the profit above all, the pirates adopted a quasi-socialist way of operation. The pirates had their own code of behavior. Every man or woman intending to become a pirate had to agree to the pirate articles. And the first article from the set of regulations was, "Every man has a vote in affairs of moment, has equal title to the fresh provisions or strong liquors at any time seized, and may use them at pleasure, unless a scarcity makes necessary for the good of all to vote a retrenchment." Everybody ate the same food and drank the same liquor, and everyone could eat and drink as much as he liked. Instead of profit above all of capitalism, the pirates favored a good-for-all code of conduct. This code, it might be said, revealed a true sense of humanity and camaraderie that perhaps the politics of the state no longer possessed. The code was written by the pirates for the pirates, a system that looked after the community and a common goal. This code included even a rule for cannibalism. To agree to give the self up for the betterment and survival of the group is an act of submission that illustrates a willingness to compromise selfhood for collective idealism. And it is this that I suspect to be the greatest appeal to a modern audience. This is a romanticization of the code. In all popular representations of pirates, we see our pirate protagonists living a daring life outside of the law, rebelling against the authorities, yet are still able to uphold some commitment to some ideals. This is what the modern audience can and wants to relate to. This relationship to rules and systems mirrors our ever-changing feelings of confusion to rules and ruling systems. We want or claim to want a life outside of the state, and find refuge in alternative systems and codes. But these are simply other systems. And at moments when they no longer suit us, we again blame those codes and reject them once more. In popular movie series Pirates of the Caribbean, the audience is led to sympathize with Captain Jack Sparrow for his perpetual rebellion against any codes. And when other characters, Elizabeth Swann and Gibbs respectively, adopt this mentality, it is celebrated and depicted in a good light. The famous quote, "They're more like guidelines anyway," is used to show the submissive nature of any given code in favor of a morality that comes from the sentimental. When it came down to it, the pirate code is ignored, the code falls apart. Even this is romanticized. The falling apart of the code does not bother the audience however much we had invested in this alternative system, as long as it is for a noble cause, doing as the heart wills, ultimately following a moral code of personal integrity. Thus we see the legal code is abandoned in favor of the pirate code, and the pirate code abandoned in favor of the moral code. This ambiguously vague commitment to ideals is perhaps the defining feature of the modern fascination with pirates. Therefore, it seems to me that the adventure so much represented by the pirate lifestyle is perhaps really an adventure into how far we're willing to push our own definitions of integrity. How far can we tolerate or allow certain acts without breaking our internal systems? How far can we excuse behaviors when suspended in a fantasy realm?